Wahala galapa. So guys, it is staying in the house now. I think all of us know that DEE MWANGO had declared that she's going into marriage and living out content creation, and I'm telling you, my goodness, it is a lie. Yeah, there's no way that I'll build my channel up to the level which DEE MWANGO has created with over 300,000 subscribers. Then you just say you're walking out for marriage. That's a lie. You guys, marriage is not a bed of roses. It is not. However much somebody loves you, however much you've gotten the right person, there will always be ish. Yeah. Even the brothers and sisters who have been born together, you go tired on each other, yeah? You become bored with each other, that's what I mean. So what about a husband? And I'm not a racist, but a person from a different culture. Obviously, there'll be things you'll be doing and they're like, huh, what the hell? Or you'll do some things and they'll be disgusted. They do some things and you'll be disgusted. So God. Of course, you know that Dee said this is a man only for her. No wonder she keeps covering his face. Now today, I was able to see him. Not from the front, but he was of course showing his face a bit. And of course, I remember the video that was done while he was racing in Nyabohanse streets, running around and kids surprised at the Muzungu. So guys, why am I making this reaction? My reaction is just here to tell you that, guys, do not expect Dee to retire from content creation or even journeying. You know, traveling is one thing that is quite addictive. I don't have a lot of money now. Of course, I can even tell you I don't have money to allow me travel. But if I start, nobody will stop me. If I start, if you dare me, if I get that sponsorship to begin traveling, even just in Africa, I won't stop. Because it becomes like a dream. And it's a very interesting life compared to this life where you're stuck in an office working 24 hours. Because I tell you 24, wait. Yeah, so, so why am I saying this? You know, there's no boring life like staying in one place. You're not meeting diverse aspects. You're not grabbing different fresh air. You're not experiencing much. Through traveling, you learn a lot. So, Dee, do not lie to us. You've already made it in life. Maybe you've not reached where you're going, but you've made it. So, do not lie to us that you're actually retiring from journeying, traveling to marriage. No. And how will marriage stop you? How will marriage stop you from traveling? From the different reactions people have been giving, it's like your man maybe has a kind of hustle that they don't have to actually be tied in one place. If he has managed to come to Nyabohanse, stay that long, now you're in Watamu. By the way, guys, they are in Watamu. After a long silence, Dee broke the silence in 21 hours and she was like, I'm finally here, you know, it's not the first time at the oceans and it is a low season. It's not the season. Why did you go to Watamu when it's not a season? Dee, sister, I'll ask you because you know, of course, if you have been coast, you know the season and not season. And anyway, did you go for season or did you go the time you feel like you should go? You being a traveler who has gone through 70 countries, you should know when to go there anyway. And if you just went for your fun, you don't have to tell us that it's not the season for Africans, because I know you are still an African, regardless of having gotten a Mzungu, you are still one of us. So, of course, we don't go with seasons. In fact, if you ask a Kenyan, what is the season? They won't have an answer for you. Because we don't have these things about winter, summer, I don't know. Which other season? These are things we just hear about from the American side, and if you travel, maybe then that will apply to you. But when you're in Kenya, no. So let's actually have some little bit of what Dee is saying here, and then from there we can proceed.
Mombasa, you all need to come here. Lately it has been raining. We hope to get some, some sunset. Not too excellent. The beach here is so clear. You want to come closer and see? Come and see. No. You can't go inside. Why? But if you come here weekday and less crowded, actually very few people here. So if you want to get a vibe, just come here during those days that I just mentioned, and you find
so guys, one thing that I'll assure you is that Dee, of course, chooses the right meal. You know, many of us fail to choose which one. We just go picking and, swallowing. We pick and swallow, pick and swallow. You know, for us, we pick and swallow because that is what we have, or that is rather what we've planned to eat, or there is scarcity of money. You know, when you have scarce money, you don't pick what to eat, right? But as for her, she has it. I can assure you that with that channel, she gets a lot of cash. Yeah, so guys, if you know what I'm talking about, you know, and if you don't know, forget about it. I always say so. So guys, let's go on. Now in the villa, meanwhile, there are repairs, or rather the remaking. I can talk about the remaking. So if you know, the kitchen is being created. Yeah, so I will ask you guys, what is your opinion about what was going on? Of course, yeah, the king of the swamp was the one behind the scenes in the name of designer. And people are like, why can't you leave Rochelle to do the design? Because actually, women have better vision or eyes. But remember on Sunday, he announced and said that he was doing it. And he was going to get very few people because they were asking for $1,000. That is what he said. And people are like, why $1,000? Why does he keep talking about this? So, of course, checking on Black Beauty was actually out and talking about begging when actually you disregard it. Anyway, I won't go deep into this because I want just to show a little bit, or rather you would listen to what was said today by the king himself and judge from it.
Design and all these things. So I have to be working around the masons, or I have to be very close to them to make sure we don't mess any measurements. But at the same time, I'm ready to go the way it's coming, I'm more than willing to get lost as I work. I know a lot of you guys say be professional, be this. Sometimes you just have to be a man.
So, all right, what do you get from that, which you've just listened to? Do you get that we need any sort of complaint about what is being done? Because from that video, you can actually hear that the king is talking of the small, which means whatever is required is not much, right? And the boards are already there to create the shelves, yeah? So not much is required, yeah? So guys, let's get back to Dee. You know, people say a lot, but I didn't like the fact that somebody said that when Trench grandpa was talking about the missing wedding cloth, and people are like, Dee stole it. I think that was a very wrong accusation. Huh? We didn't have evidence about who took it. And I don't believe that in whatever angle we can have Dee taking such a cloth, because of course when you see somebody with so many subscribers and every time they post a video there are people viewing, they are making money. In Kenya we say hafanyi mawe. You get what I'm saying? That is the bunker that I'm trying to talk about. So of course we aim to look at those gaps and correct and actually say the truth. You know, I'm not like going to hate anybody here. I'm not going to attack or all that, but I just don't want to be a praise and worship person. No. I always like to see what is the gap and how do we feel. So I was like, okay, you know, I saw Marwa commenting and saying, here, see 90 degrees, it's okay to correct, but it was like proving a point. Now, what do you think, guys? Was it a kind of brag or something? So he went along showing the places where they are building and then goes on to the router and talks about somebody messing with the, you know, the network. I don't know who can mess with the network. Maybe Safaricom or Airtel or Orange, whichever you are using. But I don't think anybody, anyway, unless in your house people roam about and do anything. Now, I was just also looking and there were still some few clothes remaining there, and I was like, are they the same we were doing the grand donation? They didn't go all of them, you mean? All right. So, I am expecting more and more. And of course, I'll be checking these videos, you know, so that I can see if there is anything we can talk about. Otherwise, this is my third reaction on the Swamp family. And I think there's a lot we can actually cover up as we try to build here and there. So bye-bye for now. Have a great time. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing to it and help me grow. Actually, you don't know what it means to me. For the returning subscribers, I love you a lot. You are very wonderful people. And for the new subscribers, welcome to this dish that we serve hot. Yeah, so great times, great moments, my people. Bye-bye. Wagwan. Hey.